Welcome to the instructions to complete the Oregon Centralized Application Intake Form. OHCS has a new funding process called the Oregon Centralized Application, or ORCA. These instructions will help you submit the intake form, which is the first step in this ORCA process. Before I walk through the intake form, I'll provide some context for how this form is used within the centralized application. This intake is the official front door to the ORCA application. All projects seeking funding and assistance must come through the intake form. By completing this, OHCS will gain an understanding of project needs and construction readiness. The form asks for high-level information about affordable rental housing projects across the state in various stages of development. We understand that not every project will be ready to provide all the information requested, and we recognize that things may change after you submit the intake form, as elements of your project, such as budget or partnerships, and even the site, may change. No information submitted in this intake form is binding. The intake simply opens a conversation with OHCS staff about where the project stands today. The intake form is found on OHCS's new Oregon Centralized Application web pages. This is a survey-styled form that's intended to be filled in a single sitting. It could range from taking 15 to 25 minutes to complete depending on known components of your project. By marking certain areas or answers, additional questions will open up. And remember, this is not a test. There are no right or wrong answers here. The first question helps us ensure you've found the right form, confirming you're here for affordable rental housing resources. If you're looking for resources other than affordable rental housing, you'll be connected to those divisions. Section 1 is applicant details. This section is to collect basic information about your entity and contact information. Note that fields with a red asterisk are required. If you feel there is no appropriate response for that field, please indicate so with an appropriate response, such as unsure or not applicable. In the project concept section, we're going to get into your known details about the project concept. The first field asks for your project name. This is an example field where we require a response. If, for example, you do not have a project name yet, you can type in no name, and that's okay. Details like this help us understand how developed a project concept is. We ask, has this project ever applied for OHCS funding? If yes, let us know when. This helps OHCS tie your project to existing records. Does the project have any affordability restrictions? This helps us understand any preservation component of the project. Next, a brief project description. We ask about co-location with early learning planning because OHCS is developing a new program with resources related to this activity. We ask for construction type and about the location of the project. If known, we drill down into specifics about your site, including zoning, infrastructure, permitting, and environmental reports thus far. This shows us the readiness of the project. Final parts of the project concept include your intended populations to be served, then unit mixes with bedroom number and AMI. You can have final architectural drawings, or you may not have contacted an architect at all at this point. We're eager to understand, though, just how far along in the planning the project is. The next section is financial strategy. Now we get into asking you what is known about the project finances. What is your estimated total cost of the project? The amount you believe is needed from OHCS. We expect that many projects may not have this information detailed. We want you to tell us what you know. This may only be an estimate rounded to the nearest $1 million, or you might have an estimate down to the penny. Simply share with us what you know today. If you don't know the type of resources you're seeking, that's okay. OHCS will help identify resources and help you understand the requirements for each program. Applicant contribution to the project, this may also be unknown. This field is open to type a number or a quick sentence, whatever is the most appropriate. If there isn't an anticipated applicant contribution, you can enter 0 or none. We're simply looking to understand how the project cost will add up. We don't need this early concept to balance. Again, we're just looking to understand your early known components. Then we ask about public funds, and then more details about those funds. Final pieces for financial strategy section include investor, construction loan, budget description, escalation estimates, details about project-based rental assistance, and PSH. Finally, we're looking for dates, recognizing this may be a very rough estimate at this point. All of this section can be very preliminary. Identified sponsors and partners. These fields are not required. We're asking who you may have identified for this project team at this point. If your project entity is eligible, for instance, if you're a nonprofit, a small government, or a tribe, you'll see pre-development and capacity building interest questions. This flags potential connections for OHCS staff. We ask if you've completed other OHCS requirements, pre-qualification request, and DEI agreement. These are not required before you submit the intake form, but will be a task in the next ORCA step of impact assessment. However, you may complete these at any time. The final field gives you opportunity to give us additional information you feel is pertinent. Please keep it brief. If you choose to select this box at the end, the online form software will send you a copy of your responses to any email you choose. In addition to that email, the application team at OHCS will send you a receipt of submission received email to inform you that the intake submission was successful and what to expect with timing and follow-up. Remember to hit submit. Thank you for viewing the intake form instructions. If you have any questions, please reach out to the application team at app.team@hcs.oregon.gov.